Hello again, and welcome to another week of Flock Talks. Before we get started, let me encourage you to do something. If you're joining us for these talks on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, would you leave any comments, thoughts, or insights you might have as you consider the things we address each time we talk? This is a great way to engage with each other at a time when connecting with one another can be difficult. And that brings me to the subject I want to reason with you about this week: unity. As I mentioned this past Sunday, we're going to pick up this week where our weekend series, Living One, left off, especially as it relates to how we flesh out a life of living together in a world where everything and everyone seems to be ripped apart. In fact, in Ephesians 4, chapter 4, verse 17, Paul said something like this: don't live like everyone else in the world. But if you're like me, the first thought that pops into your mind is, how in the world do I do that? Well, consider what follows as he writes beginning in verse 20. That, however, is not the way of life you learned. You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. Wow. Sounds easy, right? For those of you who don't have the gift of interpretation, that was sarcasm. Well, let's take a look at that and break it down. First, notice Paul's focus on the actions of learning and teaching. Being able to live in harmony with others is both a process and a discipline. Naturally, we have desires that promise one thing but deliver another, and a consistent experience with those will likely produce skeptical, cynical, untrusting people who are slow, if not incapable, of committing to anything or anyone else. We want to trust others, thinking that faithful, loyal friendships will make life full, but we soon experience the pain of disloyalty, abuse, betrayal, or infidelity, and want nothing more to do with others as a result. Now, that's not good. Secondly, please notice how the process unfolds. We're first made new, and that's a passive action, or something that must be done for us or to us. It really speaks of what Jesus does in His forgiveness and the Holy Spirit does in renewing. And Paul is referring actually here to the power of the Holy Spirit and the Word reshaping how we think. But then he says that we must put on a new kind of character, having to do with the way that we were created, more in keeping with the image of God. Now that's an active action, something that we actually do or engage in. This implies that we not only have a choice in these things, but the ability to follow through. Well, what he wrote to another group at roughly the same time might help clarify how this takes place for us. He wrote this: whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice. You see, we start thinking differently to start living differently. And that requires teaching and implies that we are first teachable. So can I ask you, are you teachable? Are there attitudes that exist in your life that seem to keep people away that you are willing to put off so that you can put on new ones? Are there thoughts and beliefs you hang on to about other people that keep you away from others that you're ready to put off so you can put on others? Whatever your experiences have been in life, however others have hurt you or you have hurt others, those things can be put off if you have been crucified with Christ. Those things are dead. They're lifeless. They no longer hold any present power in your life. Having died with Christ, though, you are alive with Him now as well. And that comes with power to think and live differently. Consider that with me today, and we'll talk again soon about what that looks like in some practical areas. I love you all. God bless you.